Hey, welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. This one here, actually, I have no idea if I'm going to air this one at all, but I'm in the mood to talk to the person who thinks that their life is over. Not so much over in terms of like you're dying, but the person who thinks their life is over because they made some mistakes. They did something that is maybe going to take them a long time to pay for in terms of time, money, or energy. Or the person that feels like they failed a million times and that's it. They've decided they want to quit, give up, stop. It's not the end of the story. Just because you failed all day yesterday or today or a few minutes ago doesn't make you a failure. Okay? A failure is an event, not a person. Okay? So you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you keep on going. And we all say, oh, well, we've heard that shit before. It sounds corny. But it really is how it's done. I heard Eric Thomas say something that I liked very much. And he said, champions keep going when there's nothing left in their tank. And that's one of the things that separates the greats. Again, failure is an event. It is not a person. Okay. And you can't fail at being you. You can't fail at being the person you want to be and acting the way you want to act. Now, there are consequences for everything you do, okay? Because I'm the person who does the best to never stand in judgment, even though I fail at that too, okay? But there is something intrinsically, uniquely you that you got to keep. And you got to keep it sometimes even if nobody wants it because you want it. There is nothing wrong with making mistakes. There is nothing wrong with having something happen to you. It's not even what happens, it's really what you do about it that makes the difference. And sometimes you got to do what you want with no apology. Okay. And you got to be you sometimes, even when it's not popular, even when other people don't like it, because you still have value and something to bring to the world. And so I'm encouraging those of you that think because they made a mistake, or maybe it's a mistake that's hard to get out of. Okay, maybe you did something that maybe you can't take back. Maybe what you need to do or consider doing is to fix it in your mind. If it's something you can't change or something you can't take back, then do nothing else but fix it in your mind so that you can make it through a difficult situation and still keep a positive mental attitude. Okay? Because again, there's that life of apology and there's that life of permission. Um, Sometimes you want the other one, whichever it may be, but the truth is you don't have to be anybody but yourself. And that includes all your mistakes as well as your successes. Because a lot of times, when you make a mistake, yeah, it makes you feel bad, okay? Or it can. Maybe you make a mistake that hurts other people, okay? But it's not your job to take care of everybody else all the time. It's your job to think somewhat of civic duty. Yes, I think that's true. It is sometimes your job to be mindful of other people, but it's not your job to take on the responsibilities of how they feel and what they do and who they are and where they go. That's their job. Okay, your job is to be you, live in the world, do what you got to do, and look at the results and make some adjustments, change your approach to get you to where you need to go. And there are going to be times when things ain't just going to go right. You're going to step on people's toes. You're going to say things that are hurtful. You're going to say things that people don't like. There are going to be people that don't like you just because. You don't even have to have done anything wrong. Those are just the haters of the world, and they're just out there, and you have to have that too. But there isn't any reason why, no matter what kind of mistake you've made, that you can't do something different. You can't correct it. You can't move forward. Because people that I've been around at times that make mistakes and think that's it, that's the end. Oh, I'm done. No, you're not. Okay. You may have failed again all day yesterday, but that doesn't mean you got to fail now. Okay. And the way you stop failing now is to set your mind and understand that you're not perfect. You were never supposed to be perfect, and you're never going to be perfect. You can be better, you can do better, but you are not going to be perfect, and it is okay. Despite what people will tell you, despite what the media will tell you, despite what you see and hear in TV, news, radio, magazines, whatever, all that bullshit about first place, the second place is the first loser. Really? Okay. That doesn't make you less than because you're not the primary or you're not first or the biggest and brightest of everything. Okay. You can be you and be okay and be good enough. And even if you make mistakes and you pick yourself back up and keep on going, oh yeah, people will remind you constantly about the stuff that you did. Okay. And you may have done, and I like this one. This one comes straight from TD Jakes. You may have done what they said you did, but you are not who they say you are. Now, I don't know if he's the first person to ever say it, but it's the first person I ever heard say it. And so, for those of you that have made mistakes or that people tend to drag up your past and put it in your face to keep you from moving forward, doing something different, to keep you from forgetting the negative so that you can face the sun and the positive. Old African proverb, keep your face to the sunshine and you won't see the shadows. There are people who would prefer that you keep your back to the sun, that you look at the mistakes, that you keep talking about them, that you keep reliving them, you keep staying there. Okay. Those are haters. They don't want to see you do anything well, or they may be in competition with you and don't want you to get what they consider ahead of them. Um, you don't have to give in to that. You can keep your face to the sunshine. You can look at where you're going instead of where you've been, because that's in the past. So for you guys that are out there that are having trouble with people who throw stuff up in your face about what you used to be, and I don't care whether it means that you were from a prostitute to a drug user to a murderer to a bank robber. I'm talking to all the Denzians, for lack of a better word, what they call the dregs of society that are tired of being dregs and want to move forward, but you got a bunch of people in your face trying to hold you back. Okay, it takes a nation of millions to hold you back if you really got a goal. Okay, and even then they can't do it. Okay, depending on what your faith and your belief is, I've heard things like God will break hips, lips, and fingertips to make sure you get where you need to go. Um, you are God, and so you need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Stop listening to all the people who are telling you all the reasons why you can't or you don't deserve it because you did this bad thing umpteen years ago. Whatever. Okay? Get up off your keister, your ass, and move forward. And don't let them tell you anything about you that you have to believe and act upon. Go for what you know. And if you know you're trying to do better and it doesn't matter where you've been, it matters where you're going, and you realize that, then ditch the haters and get around people who are going to tell you what you can do, what you can be, what you can have, and never be satisfied. Don't get satisfied with people that are going to tell you that you're not. Okay? Get satisfied and seek out people that'll tell you what you are. And I know if you've been around that for a long time, that's a difficult thing to change, because some of your closest friends can be some of the very ones that are telling you why you can't be X, Y, and Z because what you used to be and what you used to do. Nah, just be willing to understand that if you're trying to move forward and you start doing the things that you know to do that are right, even if they're not on a certain level, you do to the best of your ability. That opens the doors for other things to happen for you. Okay, when you stop running with poor slick Willie, okay, and you stop hanging out with people who don't want to grow and don't want to be something and don't want you to be anything, because they like you being down here with them, and you keep them company. That misery loves company, that drama loves company. And you start to come up from out from under that, and you start to be with people who are actually going to encourage you and say good things about you and push you forward. You're going to meet opposition, because there are people that are going to like you the way you were. because you were easier to manage. But when you start thinking for yourself and doing for yourself and not accepting less than what you can be and less than where you can go and the status quo of where you've been, that's going to make some people uncomfortable. Other people are going to rush to embrace you, though, and sometimes that takes a little time, and you might spend a little time by yourself and get to know yourself a little better. But you will open up doors as you begin to grow forward, regardless of what people thought you used to be. And you will open up doors, and people will start to come to help you, and they will gravitate into your life because you've changed your thinking. Wayne Dyer said once, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And when you've gravitated toward a different type of person and different people and different social circles, they'll begin to come into your life, and it will start to feed the things that you feed. Now, if you feed the drama and the negativity and stuff, don't be surprised if no matter how high you try to strive, you end up back there. But if you start to feed the good, the pure, the clean, the powerful in you, you will start to attract the good, the clean, the powerful people who will begin to tell you more, share with you more, build you up more, and push you toward greatness. Now, that doesn't mean you just say that and act like that and they come. You got to roll up your sleeves and take action and do the good things, do the good behavior. Stop talking the way you used to talk. Stop thinking the way you used to think. But it will happen for you. So, another quick word of encouragement. Just had to blast it out there. I know it was kind of rambly, but you know what? Get over it. It's just me talking to whoever needs this today. Okay? Get out there and do something different. Don't worry about what people say. If you want to be different, you change it. Because to change your life, you have to change your life. You got to save your own life because nobody else can do it for you. Okay, they can help you along the way, but ultimately you've got to reach up with both hands and grab the thing that's next for you. And if you have to pull yourself up to the next level, crawl and cry and get there because it'll open up more doors for you. And I'm a living witness because I wasn't always the person that you see today, but I've always been myself. And that has evolved and changed over the years. And so my circumstances and the people I'm around have evolved and changed with it. So be encouraged. Don't give up. Don't quit. And no matter what anybody says, if you want to do something better for yourself, go out and do it. That way you can live that life with no apologies for being a better person. So I commend you. I encourage you. And thank you for sharing my armchair.